Perfect. Yes, our next presenter is Takumi Ikeda with Negation in the Mu-nya language. Do you have access to share your screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
First of all, I want to some short explanation. It is my great pleasure to have been given an opportunity to speak in front of you via Zoom. Thanks very much for organizing committee, and I would like to express my appreciation to the chair and the supporting staff. At first, I took a short introduction and goal of my presentation. Mu-nya is a Tibeto-Burman language spoken by Tibetans living in Sichuan, China. Mu-nya has complex negative expressions concerning evidentiality that have not been reported in detail so far. This study analyzes the basic functions and grammatical behavior of two kinds of negator in Mu-nya, focusing on negative target items such as the verb, the aspect suffix, or the declarative with evidential in verb predict. In addition, I will introduce some directional varieties corresponding to the general negative expression, nyungati, not be in Mu-nya. Okay, let's start get into my presentation. Is it okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Yes. This is a record I made beforehand. I show you slideshow.
Should there be audio happening?
Mm-hmm.
No, we're
Are
not
you
getting
doing it from the PowerPoint?
Yeah, we can't hear any audio. Maybe I think there might be an option, I think, in Zoom to share audio.
Share audio.
So you can unshare the screen.
Okay,
and then
I stop here now. Okay.
And now when you go to share again, there will be a box that you can click that will say share computer audio. And you can try that one.
Let me see. I'm sorry, restart now. Mm-hmm.
And if not, we can hear your voice, so you could just talk over them if that would work.
Okay. How about this time?
no sound.
negation in the Mu-nya language.
Is it okay? There we go. Yep.
Ikeda Takumi at Kyoto University in Japan. The Mu-nya language belongs to the Chiagic branch of the Tibeto-Burman language family and is spoken by about 10,000 Tibetans who live around Mount Minyakonga in Sichuan, southwest China. The Chinese scholar Wang Bufan demonstrated that Mu-nya has three kinds of negative prefixes, ny, ma, and ju for prohibitive. One's observation is simple but to the point. If we delve further into the topic, we find that Mu-nya negative expressions are somewhat complex concerning evidentiality. This negative construction in Mu-nya has not been described in detail thus far. In Mu-nya, a non-predict sentence like A is B is expressed as A, B declarative. See example sentence 1. I am a student. ng, kizimi ga. The declarative is a part of speech in Mu-nya, which appears at the end of the predict and implies the speaker's evidentiality. Mu-nya has three kinds of declaratives for statements. Ni is used for general statements. Ga is used for statements that connote certainty. And di indicates confirmation or discovery. Ga and di are often combined together as ga di. However, no other combinations are grammatically allowed. Typical affirmative expressions with declaratives include the following. See example sentence 2. I am a student in the Tibetan class. ng, pu gundu kizimi ga. 3. He is my classmate. Atsu ng ga kijimin juni. 4. He is my student too. Just noticed. Atsu nu kizimiti. Negation in the non-predict in Mu-nya is expressed by the negator ny preceding a declarative like nyuga. Negations such as A is not B is communicated in Mu-nya as follows. Noun A is a subject and noun B plus nyugati is a predicate. Now let us examine the negative counterpart of typical sentences with three kinds of declaratives. 2 prime. I am not a student in the Tibetan class. ng, pu gundu kizimi nyugati. 3 prime. He is not my classmate. Atsu ng ga kijiminju nyugati. And 4 prime. He is not a student either. Atsu nu kijimi nyugati. Regardless of the ranking of evidentiality in affirmative sentences, all of these negative counterparts employ one negative expression, nyugati, to make a statement. As seen above, the general negative expression in the noun predict is nyugati and is merely used in negative combination with other declaratives like nyuni and nyuti. Nyuni is used when it is necessary to emphasize it is not. That is the truth. And nyuti is used especially when the speaker needs to stress just discovered or noticed it is not. I have never known at all. Now we turn our eyes to the adjective predict. Mu-nya adjective and the predict should be a polysyllabic or duplicated monosyllabic words like gugu, cold. See sentence number 5. It is cold today. 부스 무 구구띠. The declaratives nga, ni, ti are also used in the adjective predict to express evidential. Negative construction in the adjective predict in Mu-nya is basically the same as in the noun predict, expressed by the negator new preceding a declarative. The adjective itself must not be negated. An adjective plus nyugati is a general negative expression in the predict. Let us look at the negative counterpart of sentence 5. 5'. It is not cold today. 부스 무 구구 nyugati. Here also use the negative expression nyugati to make a statement. It is merely used in negative combinations with other declaratives like nyuti and nyuni, except for special situations. See sentence 6. Mountain is not flat. Bo tinti nyuni. Nyuni is used when it is necessary to highlight it is not. That is the truth. Next, we go down to the verb predict sentence. A Mu-nya verb consists of a directional prefix plus a verb stem and adds a suffix for the aspect or a modal if needed, and takes declaratives at the end of the predict. Let us examine a typical affirmative sentence with a verb suffix. See sentence 7. I eat a meal. 니 즈 핸즈뽕아. And next sentence 8 is with a modal instead of suffix. I must drink medicine. 느 매 하추회띠. Negation in the verb predict under the imperfect aspect is expressed as a verb plus nyupo. It is noteworthy that the target item of the negator is the verb suffix po, expressing the perfect aspect, which often includes the volitional future. See negative sentence 9. I do not write Tibetan letters. Ngi bu gundu kuri nyuponga. Negation in the verb predict under the perfect aspect is expressed as a verb plus maso. Here, another negator ma is used in the perfect aspect. The target item of the negator is the verb suffix so, expressing the perfect aspect. See negative sentence 10. I did not write a letter. Ni gundu kurimasu. Mu-nya has another declarative ra, which indicates a statement with a speaker's evidentiality as either experienced or realized. See sentence 11. It rained on the mountain. Taka uche nakara. This declarative ra only used in the verb predict under perfect aspect. Negation in the verb predict with the declarative ra is somewhat unique. See sentence 12 and 13. 12. It did not rain at all. Uche tarunu namakara. 13. I'm not tired. Ngu amashera. The negator ma comes into the position after directional prefix before the verb stem as namaka have not fallen to express negation under the perfect aspect with experience. The target item of the negator ma is not the declarative ra, but rather the verb stem. See sentence 14. He did not write. Atsi kumarira. The negator ma appears between directional prefix and verb stem. But in Tango dialect, the negator ma can negate declarative ra as kurimara. This must be caused by the parallelism to the other expression for general statement of sentence 15. He did not write. Atsi kurimasu. Some Mu-nya dialects use variety of negative expressions such as Mu-ya or jaga instead of nyugati. All of these expressions are also used for negative answer no independently. Mu-ya is primarily used in Ryuba village, while jaga is used in Shongo village. Both villages are in the northern part of Mu-nya district, in Kandin-sien. But these expressions are never used in Tango village, located in the southern district, in Jiulong-sien. This report described the basic construction of negation in the Mu-nya language. Mu-nya has two kinds of negators. The general negator nu is used in the noun predict, the adjective predict, and the verb predict, which negate imperfect suffix bo or declaratives representing evidentiality. The second negator ma is used in the verb predict and express negation under the perfect aspect. It negates perfect suffix s or verb stem with declarative ra contrastively. Here, I have introduced two major issues: negation and evidentiality, and negation and perfect aspect in Mu-nya. Further issues in negation, such as partial negation and double negative, are still under investigation. In addition, we should conduct a thorough study to expound upon the negation system in terms of experience, possibility, and progression. Thank you very much. I would be glad if this is of any help to those concerned. Thank you very much for your kind attention and patience.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions or comments they'd like to make? I did notice that you said on one of your slides that when the adjective, you had a predicate adjective, that it could not be negated. I guess the adjective itself could not be negated. Is that double negative that you said was still understudied, or could you elaborate on that a little bit? I want to make sure I understood that slide.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it was when you had a predicate adjective, it said that and it was a negative sentence, the adjective itself could not be negated. So I wasn't sure if you meant, if that's the double negative that you mean is still understudied, or.
You mean which one?
I can't remember the slide number. Let me see if I can find it.
Zaki here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Zakir.
Hi.
Thank you. Zakir here from Skardu, Baltistan, Pakistan.
Oh, okay. I think we were going to discuss quickly the presentation that we had just seen if we had more questions, and then we're going to, in just a few minutes, then start with yours.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
If you can't find the slide, that's fine. I just wanted to clarify, but if anybody else has any comments or questions, then don't let my questions stop you from asking.
Oh, it is strange.
I had sort of a question of detail. I mean, the analysis is really fascinating. Why do you choose to gloss nga and ni consistently as declarative rather than as copulous?
I think it is that origin was I'm not sure, but ni is used under the second or third person subject, and nga is used under the first person subject. It represents evidentiality. This is nga used with certainty.
Okay. No, my question was, when you gloss these, in your examples, you gloss them as declarative, DEC, everywhere. On your slides, when you have an example under nga, the gloss is declarative, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
I assume you do that because you find this in all sentences, even when they have another verb, right?
Yes.
Right. But in the copular sentences, That's the only thing that can be a verb. And then we
Yes.
have to decide, do we want to gloss this as a copula or gloss a consist? And this is just a quibble, but since this nga can take a negative prefix, just like any other verb, right? We have nga and yuni.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they are taking the negation. To my mind, that makes them verbs, not particles. And so therefore, I think they're still copulas. As I said, this is a very tiny point, and it doesn't, you know, not in any way disagreeing with your analysis, but I worry about these things.
Okay, thank you. Let me think about this issue.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, I think we're about at time for the next presentation, but were there any more questions before we move on? Nope. All right. And Mary, thank you very much, Ikeda. And
Yeah, thanks.